conspiracy theories, the paranormal, UFOs, aliens, and all things strange and unusual. This is Black Lotus.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Black Lotus, where we talk about all things strange and unusual. And today we're going to be talking about the Bell Witch. And I think we did an episode on this back when we did Black Lotus, or not Black Lotus, but Pop Views, yeah. And but anyway, we're going to update it now for Black Lotus. But before we get into it, I want to remind all of our viewers to like and subscribe, and don't forget to have that little bell so you get notified every time we upload a new episode. I also want to remind you guys that we also have a podcast over at PodBean, and it's called the Paranormal News Network. And what we do there is we report the latest in paranormal news, and we also talk to some pretty fascinating people that are in the world of the paranormal. And one other thing here is I want to take a moment to let you know that we have a discussion group at Facebook, and it's called Black Lotus Discussion Group, and I'm going to drop a link for that in the bottom in the description. But it's a great bunch of people, and we just recently ran a contest, and I'm going to announce the winners here today. But anyway, and it was for a face mask, and it had our little logo on it and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's do that first.
Okay.
Let's announce the winners. We have 3 winners. We have Glenn Marcus, and Glenn said his favorite video from us was What's Under Mount Shasta, the What's Under Mount Shasta episode. And he says, because I used to work with a young lady from Mountain Shasta City and heard some stories of her stories for years. It was nice to have them examined. The second winner we have is Julianne, who is actually a brand new member over at the Black Lotus discussion group. And she said that she enjoyed our personal UFO encounters episode. And that's the one where we talk about all of our encounters that we've had,
yep.
All our sightings. And I also talk about my abduction scenario. But anyway, she said that the story is genuine and oh my God, crazy. And the third winner we have is Kimberly O'Connor, and she said she likes a Black Dahlia episode, and she said she likes this one because it's still unsolved. I enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, got some interesting research out of that. But anyway, let's get on with it, Ralph. What do we have on the Bell Witch?
Well, actually, it's a quite interesting story. It started about late summer of 1817, and some of the family members started seeing strange animals going around the property. One time, Mr. Bell also actually saw one of these animals and fired at it, and the animal just disappeared.
Really?
Yeah. So then they started having late at night hearing knocking sounds, and the doors and the outer walls would hear creaks, the sound of rats gnawing on the bedposts, chains being dragged through the house, stones being dropped on the wooden floors, and the sound of gulping and choking. I don't think we've ever heard that type of sound from.
Maybe the way the spirit died.
Maybe that's a good possibility. I don't know. But the family was terrified, of course, and they didn't tell anybody about this for about a year. Mm-hmm. Then they talked to their neighbors, the Johnsons, and they came over and spent the night for a few nights. And after they spent the night for a few nights, they saw all this weird stuff that was going on, so they said we should form a committee. So they formed a committee to try to figure out what's going on and to solve the Bell Witch mystery. Of course, they never did. There's a woman who was a witch named Kate, and they believe that that's where the name came from, because, well, this thing developed a voice and started speaking and answering questions for people, and people from all over the county would come over to this place and witness the Bell Witch phenomenon. But one of her voices at one time, when they asked her who she was, she said she was Kate, who was a witch from that they knew from another city or something.
Okay.
And so that's how they ended up calling her Kate. Now, Kate says she had two main reasons for sitting there and haunting the Bell family house. That was to kill John Bell, and also to get his youngest daughter Betsy from marrying a certain neighbor boy named Joshua Gardner. For some reason, the ghost did not like this young man and did not seem it proper that they were engaged.
Okay.
So, on December 20th, John Bell did die. He was poisoned, and Kate took the credit for poisoning him. And
now, this happened when? In 1820?
1820, right. So it was a good amount of years, a couple of years of them having to deal with this ghost.
No.
She did go away. She promised she'd be back in 7 years. She did come back in 7 years and did a little bit more, but then there was nothing more to do because the guy broke up and she killed the guy. So she said, I'd come back in another 107 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in 1935, there were some odd things that happened around the town that they blame on the Bell Witch, but nobody knows if that was her or not.
Well, I kind of wonder about that time span. I mean, why so long when she says she's going to come back?
Right.
You know?
A lot of people in the town say she never really left, that because there are odd things that happened in that town, and they always just blame it on the Bell Witch.
Well, of course. Easy scapegoat, I guess.
Exactly.
I heard, though, that there is a cave there.
Right, the Bell Witch Cave. They think that's where the Bell Witch actually ran off to after she fled the house.
Okay.
They believe that's where she actually went to, was the cave. Now, there is a story about Betsy again, and she and her friends were down in the cave playing, and one of the kids fell into one of the cravats or the open holes.
Okay.
And the Bell Witch, they hear the Bell Witch say, I'll get him out. And he says he felt hands wrap around his ankles and pull him out of the hole. And then supposedly, still invisible, the Bell Witch sat there and yelled at them for playing in the hole, playing around that area.
That'll teach him.
It's a little bit different than trying to kill somebody. Now that she's yelling at him for death, I thought that was kind of strange extremes.
Yeah. Weird. But yeah. I've always been kind of fascinated by the Bell Witch. I have a friend of mine who actually went there once, and he said, he said he didn't really feel anything when he was there, but yeah. So anyway, what else you got on this?
That's about all there is on it, really. I mean, from the 1800s, that's a pretty good amount of information, though.
Well, yeah, and I'm surprised actually that the legend has lasted as long as it has. I even with like the Amityville Horror, I don't see that lasting that long. That story lasting that long, and the Bell Witch is up for a lot of skepticism as well, but probably not as much as the Amityville Horror and the Lutzes.
Considering that they supposedly had all these town people that witnessed this stuff.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be kind of a short video today. Anyway, congratulations to our winners for the face masks. We will get those out to you right away. But anyway, until next time, folks, thanks a lot for watching, and keep thinking and question everything.